What a day of weather it's been, and we begin with breaking news. A dramatic water rescue captured tonight by Sky 12 in the Far East Valley. You're looking at police officers in Apache Junction rescuing a man trapped in his car in this flooded wash. This played out within the last hour or so near Tomahawk Road and 4th Avenue. And take a look at your screen, towards the right part of your screen now. You can see this SUV is perched, it appears, on the side of a small culvert or a drop-off that could be 3 or 4 feet. If this SUV goes down into that culvert right there, there could be some very big problems. All this water coming down from the nearby Superstition Mountains after heavy rains. Let's go ahead and fast forward now. The two police officers appear to throw a rope to the man. And look at those officers. They don't appear to be wearing any sort of life preservers. They don't have those long poles that you see with swiftwater rescues. Nobody has grabbed them on the side of the bank, or nobody's downstream from them to catch them if they somehow slip. One officer appears to have the other officer's belt. They grab the man from inside the car, pull him through the window, and you can see the water is up to everybody's thighs. They turn around and slowly walk him back to that bank. Those two officers risking their lives tonight, again, about an hour ago in Apache Junction, to save this man from his SUV. And the SUV never did go down into that ditch, which could have been, again, huge problems. But what a day of weather news we've had today. This is a microburst that slammed parts of the valley earlier this afternoon. Powerful winds, driving rain, even hail. The storm left a trail of destruction. Roofs ripped off of buildings. Trees brought down onto apartments. Like that, just like a dollhouse with the roof ripped off. And then that big heavy tree on that apartment came down on cars as well, these trees. Hundreds of people out of their homes tonight. Many more are just starting a big cleanup. Thanks for being here for 12 News at 10. I'm Troy Hayden. Today's storm was felt all across the valley, but the Tempe area appeared to be hit the hardest. We have team coverage of damage tonight. Chase Golightly is at a business complex that had his roof literally ripped off by a microburst. But we're going to start with Gabriela Becerra, who's live near Mill Avenue in the US 60, where these huge eucalyptus trees, Gabby, fell down on these apartments, forcing so many people out of their homes. What do you have for us?
That's right, Troy. This entire complex was just really hit hard by the storm. What you see behind me is really just a fraction of the damage that we've seen here today. Many heavy, big trees landing right on top of buildings and trapping several people inside. A City of Tempe spokesperson confirmed to me that everyone's okay. There were no injuries here, but many people are going to be displaced from their homes tonight. Powerful wind and rain swept across Tempe Monday afternoon in a fury.
It basically felt like a hurricane, is like what I would describe it as. It was really windy, super loud, and then I heard the couple trees crash.
The microburst packed a huge punch, causing extensive damage to cars, windows, and roofs.
It was like this huge change in pressure, and you could feel it against the windows, and then water started pouring in my kitchen window.
The City of Tempe says more than 130 people are displaced after several apartment complexes took a hit. At Century Apartments located near Mill Avenue and the US 60, several trees fell on buildings, destroying roofs and trapping people inside.
The ceiling had cracked. Initially, it was just like a trickle going down. I had a bucket under there, and then the whole ceiling cracked, and it was flooding, and then my door was stuck for like 20 minutes, and the neighbors had to help me get out.
One resident, Justice Reese, tells me she came home to find the entryway to her apartment gone, with her dog still inside.
I had to climb underneath all this rubble and stuff and run into my apartment and get my dog. And she was so terrified she didn't want to come out.
The Tempe Fire Department went door to door, rescuing people stuck on the second floor.
So I just was so happy that he was able to get down, and same for me. I didn't expect to have to go down the ladder, so I'm glad that they were there to help me.
Now the question on everyone's mind is what's next?
How long is it going to be till we have a place to live again?
We saw construction crews surveying the structural damage and landscapers starting to remove fallen trees. But cleanup could take days and repairs even longer.
I'm just glad that we're out, and I don't know, I got at least one pair of clothes.
Despite the unknown, people tell me they are grateful everyone, including their pets, are safe.
It feels so good. Honestly, I was really scared. So.
You got your dog?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was honestly like really, really terrified. That was the only thing I cared about. I just wanted to be sure my baby was okay.
And the city of Tempe and the Red Cross partnered to open up a temporary emergency shelter tonight. It's at the Escalante Multi-Generational Center that's located at 2150 East Orange Street. It's open to families and pets, but they do ask that you try to bring essential items if you can, such as phone chargers, medication, clothing, and important documents. Live in Tempe, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
What a huge cleanup there, Gabby. And it's something you don't see very often. People being rescued out of their apartments on fire ladders. That was because all the exits were blocked by these downed trees?
Landed on top of or blocked the staircases that come down from the second floor. So in this case, the only safe way down was to go down those ladders with those firefighters helping, of course.
Yeah, and again, you know, what a cleanup they have there, just getting those trees off of the building and then seeing what the damage is to that building. Gabby, thank you for that tonight. Also in Tempe, it's really almost miraculous that nobody was hurt here. A business complex literally has its roof torn off with some workers inside. This happened near Baseline and Kyrene. Heavy metal debris was flying everywhere. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly live at this scene. Tell us what happened here, Chase.
Yeah, Troy, that building having its roof torn off happened right back here. We're actually behind a fence right now. The city of Tempe put this up to make sure no one goes inside the building. They say there's a real possibility if you open up a door, you could have a potential collapse happening. But look at all the destruction over here, all these cars, some have damaged, which is why they're staying back here. But it really is a miracle that despite all of this destruction, no one was hurt.
Within just a couple of minutes,
it was very destructive.
A microburst tore this roof clean off, launching metal debris into several cars and buildings.
This is probably the worst I've seen. I've seen plenty of damaged buildings, but as far as something related to weather-wise, this is going to be the worst I've seen.
A shock to firefighters and the people who were inside.
I grabbed my wife. We ran to the center of the shop.
Steve Ochoa's wife taking this video right before it happened. He said she stopped once they saw part of the roof right above them start to move.
I was watching the eaves of our shop, and there was sunlight coming through, and I said, that's not good.
For Chris Hardy, who owns an auto mechanic shop in the same complex, he said it felt like he was in the middle of a tornado.
It sounded like a train, a rumbling train. The building was shaking. And the next thing we know, the doors were tearing down and debris was coming through the doors.
He and his workers tried to close and lock the doors when metal pipes and tin roofs came crashing into his shop, showing this video of what it looks like now.
They could have been like harpoons coming through.
I was going to say, do you think about that if you were standing in the wrong spot?
Yeah, it could have been a disaster. So I'm glad that we're just safe at this point.
Fortunately, no one was hurt, but these local business owners don't know what's next.
Basically, we're shutting doors. Like, everybody here is shutting doors. I mean, like, everybody here has, you know, their lives invested into here.
Now, I wanted to give you another look of that damage. You can see all this roofing right here. This is in a parking lot a little bit of a ways from that building. You can see all the roofing right here crashing into this white Jeep. Part of it still in the back of it with the back windshield smashed out. This isn't the only vehicle. You also have this minivan right here that also had its back windshield taken out. You can see some kids' bicycles are actually back here, but it almost looks like someone just completely rear-ended them. But of course, no, it's that tin roofing that we saw just getting flown throughout the area, through the air. A very chaotic situation. As for when this is all going to get cleaned up, we're not sure. We're also not sure what's going to happen to that building, if it is salvageable. So this is just a situation that we will have to continue to follow. We're live in Tempe. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Yeah, a lot of people out there, Chase, just seeing their livelihoods, you know, their place of business literally just blown away today. Thank you for the update there. So we have some time-lapse video we want to show you from our 12 News roof cam. So you can see kind of an unusual cloud formation for us just after 1 this afternoon. And this is actually looking down towards the Tempe area from downtown. And you can see those dark clouds moving in, that, you know, a column of rain in the back there, and then kind of a rotation. So this is a very powerful storm. Meteorologist Lindsay Riley has more on exactly what we're looking at there. And again, Lindsay, this microburst, This heavy rain out in the East Valley, very damaging.
Very damaging. So yes, we had a microburst confirmed from the National Weather Service. We had a mesocyclone, which is why we actually saw some rotation, broad rotation within those clouds, and a shelf cloud, which means the leading edge of the storm, of the thunderstorm, was producing 60 and 70 mile-per-hour winds. We had a 71 mile-per-hour gust about 2 miles north of the ASU campus. And out at Sky Harbor, we saw a gust of 63 miles per hour. Now, this is an image that we don't typically show on the air, but this is a velocity image. Areas in red, that is air moving toward the radar, or actually away from the radar, and green is toward the radar. And you can see this couplet here, which indicates rotation. So you did see that mesocyclone, that broad rotation as a rotating updraft within the thunderstorm. As for the microburst, how that happens, you have dry air that is being pulled into the thunderstorm. Then it evaporates. That creates some cooling. Hence evaporational cooling. As that becomes cool and a little bit heavier, the updraft can no longer suspend that cooler air and it falls. Gravity takes it down to the ground, and winds with a microburst can be up to 150 miles per hour. But as you saw today, we had those winds in the 60 to 70 mile per hour range and a whole lot of damage in the vicinity of that microburst. Troy.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. That's a good explanation. And unfortunately, we do have one fatality with this flooding. The body of this Rainbow Valley man swept away by floodwaters yesterday morning, found this afternoon. This is 42-year-old Vince Upton. His body was discovered in the Gila River in a remote spot about 2 miles from where his truck was discovered. He'd been missing since early yesterday morning. He called his wife to say he was stuck in a wash and couldn't get out. This is his truck. Volunteers, many of them his friends and neighbors, searched alongside deputies for a day and a half for him. And they say this loss will be felt by the entire community. Tonight, the communities of Globe and Miami once again cleaning up after floodwaters poured into homes and businesses again. It comes just a few weeks after flash flooding there killed 3 people. Creeks and washes surged in the Globe area again this afternoon, but stopped short of causing any major damage. 12 News journalist Joe Dana has more.
Some places saw about another inch of rain in the Globe, Miami area. They have just been getting one hit after another. They've seen about 40 businesses here in all through these storms get damage, another dozen or so homes damaged.
We struggle to do the recovery efforts we need to from the most powerful storm on the 26th, but meanwhile we're operating and working these additional storms.
Going up to look at a house up here that's been flooded out twice. This one's flooded out twice on us. The mood around here is they're tired of it.
I'm with Jody and Marvin. You guys have been helping your family clean up their house, which is about 50 yards from the Pinal Creek. You're in what, round 2 or 3 now?
Yeah, about 3.
How's it been?
Hard work, but fun.
But you keep smiling.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I guess there's a lot to be grateful for, even though there was some damage to the home.
Yes, there is. We're alive.
Yeah.
Stuff can always be replaced.
Absolutely. Yeah. It has been all about volunteerism, neighbors helping neighbors over the last few days in Globe. I'm Joe Dana, 12 News.
Joe, thank you. Yeah, people up there keeping a good attitude tonight.